Hey man, it's your boy YG aka Ngala, and when you're talking about the biggest what ifs in NBA history, you have to bring up D Rose somewhere. He's the youngest MVP in NBA history, and the guy was literally ahead of his time. We never seen a player like D Rose, and the crazy thing about it, he never actually got to his full potential. That's why I never really like to say prime D Rose, because we never actually got to see the real prime D Rose. The only reason why we say is because that was his peak of his career before all the injuries happened. And it sucks that if you're a new NBA fan, you will never know the feeling watching MVP Rose live. But the highlights should already say enough of how crazy Derrick Rose was. Chicago fans or even NBA fans were talking about that this will be the next guy that bring another championship to Chicago. He was basically Chicago's son. I mean, everybody in Chicago love him. But anyways, listen to some NBA legends and NBA players talked about how scary MVP Rose was. But before we get straight into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the culture so you won't be missing any of my videos. And let's get to the vid, man.
Derrick Rose is definitely top 10, easily. You know, could be top 5. Man, this dude, like I'm telling you, I mean, there's a lot of great players in our game right now when you're talking about the point guard's position. Russell Westbrook, you know, you talk about
Steph, CP,
Kyrie.
Yep.
Listen, none of them dudes wanted no smoke with Derrick Rose and Derrick Rose there.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right now, none of them dudes wanted no smoke with D Rose during that time.
D Rose was a problem.
Trust and believe. Yes.
D Rose was a problem.
Well, I'm the biggest Derrick Rose fan. I've always been the biggest Derrick Rose fan. I've always said that I would take him that MVP or against any point guard, since or whatever. I just think he was that special. And as injuries happen, things happen in the game, to see his mentality and his humility. Because for somebody that was the youngest MVP ever to say, you know what, I'll be sixth man, that speaks to his character and it speaks volumes. And you want me to be a better person, so I'm rooting for him. And I'm loving how he's playing right now. He's in attack mode all the time.
You know, even when a superhero is knocked down, he's still a superhero at the end of the day. And Derrick Rose showed why he's still a superhero.
You know, he has the inner toughness to want to succeed and to want to do whatever it takes to succeed. When he came in the league, everybody said he couldn't shoot. Just like that, one summer, he has a jump shot. That doesn't happen overnight. I'm proud of him.
In my mind, I really felt like we really had a shot, you know, and fuck, man.
Yeah. Oh,
it still fucking bothers me.
Which one bothers you the most? Is it the Eastern Conference Final one? Was you guys were on the upswing, so it was like this is gonna last for a while.
They beat us in the Eastern Conference Finals 4-1.
Yeah,
but if you put all the scores together from that 4-1 series,
on aggregate,
the score was fucking tied.
Yes.
So that's how close the shit.
Aggregate.
That's how close the shit was, you know. And then the next year, that's the year that D Rose, you know, I really felt like we had a better team. We were the #1 team in the league, you know, and we were coming at everybody's neck. And it just, you know, Derrick got hurt. And actually, you know, I got hurt that year too. And I mean, I don't know if we definitely wouldn't have won the championship, but we would have busted a lot of teams' ass that were coming up next.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Was something with Derrick Rose. Young guys do not earn your praise easily. But there was clearly a respect on the court while you were going after him and he was going after you from that first game. And last year too, something happened, something impressed you about him. What was it, Coach?
Well, I mean, I could tell when a player, you know, truly wants to be better, when a player truly wants to improve. And I respect that about them. And I admire that. And because that was a quality that I had when I was a kid growing up. And, you know, that being said, I mean, I've seen improvement in this game from last year to this year. I mean, he has a long-range ball now. He can squat behind the pick and shoot. You know, he can pull up off the dribble and shoot. You know, him getting to the rim obviously goes, you know, unquestioned. So seeing that improvement, you know, shows me that he's putting the time into the gym. And I certainly respect that. Know him a little better.
What Derrick Rose did tonight, I don't know if a lot of y'all ever got an opportunity to hang with the guy. What he gives to his mind and his body, you know, just to play one game is something that I watched, you know, being his teammate for the time that we were in Cleveland together. And when you talk about perseverance, that's the true definition of it. You talk about a guy who's I think he's the youngest MVP to ever play in this game, and to have the battles with his injuries, to be able to come back, and no matter what everybody else was talking about, because at the majority is always people who never stepped into the arena, had so many things to say bad about him and what he should do, and he should do this and do that. For him to set a career high tonight in a win in Minnesota, I think that's unbelievable. I think every kid that you don't even have to play sports. Any kid that's going through anything in life about, you know, adversity and triumph and trying to just get over the hump, you know, you can look at that performance by Derrick Rose tonight, and that's why our game is so unbelievable, because, you know, even when a superhero is knocked down, he's still a superhero at the end of the day, and Derrick Rose showed why he's still a superhero.
It's great to see him moving so well and playing with so much confidence, and it was so much fun watching him, you know, get 50 and get emotional afterwards, knowing everything he's been through. I think everybody in this league is rooting for Derrick. You know, we all want him to do well, and it's good to see him back playing at a really high level.
Amazing story, just in terms of what he's been through. It's great for, obviously, him. Comeback story where all about opportunity, believing in yourself, and we obviously knew what he was capable of and the level that he was at before the injuries. And I know people that have been around him from then that have talked about how hard he works, and obviously you don't become an MVP by not working hard, but that has carried him through the roller coaster ride he's been on. Obviously very fitting that he did it against Utah too.
You know, he's a guy who's been an MVP, you know, and then to have so many unfortunate situations come up at the height of his career, it's unfortunate. And, you know, I think he's a guy that's pushed through it all. He's kept working, he's kept his mind strong, and, you know, I'm just happy to see that, you know, he's able to compete now. I think everybody's happy to see him back on the court.
Do you enjoy the opportunity to play against him?
I mean, I enjoy every opportunity to play, you know, but obviously him being who he is, you know, I think anytime you meet a top point guard in the league, it brings the best out of him.
I mean, yeah, he's an amazing player, you know. He still is an amazing player, you know. We will have to do a great job on him, you know. He's a crafty, he can shoot, he can do a lot of things, and we're gonna have to defend tough on him.
I know this has happened when I got older, but this probably happened to him earlier. If he would have get a steal, and then he takes off, and he takes that picture to see if anybody's coming, he see guys pulling up because they know they can't catch him. But then all of a sudden, when he takes that picture now, guys are like this in full sprint position, and so guys are able to stay with him more. So now he's just readjusting his game. You've seen 3 step-back jump shots. He really didn't take step-back jump shots before. He'd come at you full, get you on your heels, and take the shot kind of like Russell Westbrook does. Now he's shooting running one-handers like Steve Nash. He didn't shoot one-handers. He's dunking those earlier.
He was getting in the paint, he was planting, and he was rising.
He's just adjusting your game when you're a great player to do the same things.
But then going to Chicago and playing against Derrick Rose during that time, man, I was like, bro, like, I played with a lot of great players. Derrick Rose during that time was probably the most talented player I ever played with.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, at 23 too. Think about that. At just starting.
At 23, man, yo, this dude was ridiculous, and I seen what he was doing in practice, night in and night out, and he had a great work ethic.
I mean, you can't calculate that. I mean, just to hear you say he was the youngest MVP
right.
ever. I mean,
still give you goosebumps?
Yeah, it does. I mean, this league is since 1946,
right.
and then all of a sudden, here was a young kid from Inglewood, right down the road here, becomes the MVP in his 3rd season. You know, I can't even wrap my mind around that. You know, we never imagined that. I don't think he ever imagined it. He just wanted to play and make a name for himself and represent his city.
See, he was a guy who could create his own shot. I mean, he's solid. I mean, Derrick Rose, where he's at right now, is more than a serviceable player. He's, to me, he's still a starter in this league.
A starter?
I mean, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you don't have Jimmy Butler.
I guess so.
I mean, come on.
Playing against the 76ers during that time, and yeah, a lot of people say, hey, you know what, why was Derrick in the game? And, you know, I would ask the question too. And I'm thinking to myself, like, come on, Tibbs. Got to get him out the game, you know?
Yeah.
So when that happens, I'm like, oh, snap. I'm like, bro, get up. Like get up. And then when he doesn't get up and he's walking off, man, it crushed me. Derrick is a dude that, you know, got a great work ethic, you know what I'm saying, very humble. Best point guard in the game. Like couldn't nobody mess with D-Rose during that time, you know? So to see him going down, I just felt like, you know, our chances of winning the championship is very rare to none.
A healthy.
So one is 22. You know, D Rose is 22 when he's balling. So to compare him to a 27, 8, 29, 30-year-old Westbrook is kind of unfair because you only get better with time. You know, so it's kind of unfair to try to gauge those two. Both of them, they're both electric. You know, when they showed glimpses of it, I don't think, you know, Rose got to his potential. I don't.
That's why I was about to say. That's why I was about to say. It's to me, it's. I agree with you when you say it's hard to say who, but in that same breath, to me, I gotta kind of slant towards D Rose because first of all, he's the youngest MVP ever, but number two, he got to where he got without even, like, you know what I'm saying. We don't even know if he reached his full potential. I guess I do understand it different. Me being from Chicago, for me, coming out as a rookie, I never could have been what D Rose was, dog. Like, people gotta understand what this kid did. This man, born and raised, city of Chicago. This ain't no outskirts or surrounding area. It's 606, whatever. He's Chicago, born and bred. To get drafted, 1 year removed, not even a year, bro. Like 6, 7, 8 months removed from Simeon High School. Go to the Bulls, where they don't even draft Chicago kids. And then you go win Rookie of the Year. And you, like, literally, he lived out every Chicago kid's dream. And he maxed it, though. Only thing he didn't do was get a chip. But he maxed it. He was the MVP of the league, the youngest ever. He the toast of the town. It don't matter what happened. Like, they can't never take that man.
But that's what you can never
Chicago. And it ain't nothing that nobody could do about it. He did what he did, and can't nobody change it. Can't no injury change it. Can't nothing change it. That boy got the city in a chokehold, and I don't care if you. I know, but Chicago and you hating on D Rose, you a hater.
So guys, hopefully this reminded you how great Derrick Rose was. Even now, he's still a good player. And actually, I think he's in his prime mentally. I mean, think about it. After all he been through, he knows how to control his body now. And don't think like he can't move like that anymore. He dropped like 50 points 2 years ago. And he's been averaging 18 points for the past 2 seasons. But it's crazy to think that he might be the only MVP not inducted to the Hall of Fame. But to me, it should be. He's the youngest MVP ever. That alone should have a case for being inducted to the Hall of Fame. But I guess that's not enough. But comment what's your favorite Derrick Rose moment. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and show love to the YG gang. And I'm out.